I think everybody has a role to play, and even if your role is not to be a business owner, your role is still, I believe, to support, the local companies in your community, especially in your church structure, right?
Yeah.
And so, I think a lot of the Christian community has embraced, cheapness, and so there's this thing called frugality, which is actually a really good thing. I think that's vital for building wealth is being frugal, but the extreme of that is being what you would call cheap. And so
Mm.
I think a lot of times the Christian community is so cheap that, we just buy the cheapest thing possible, which ends up siphoning our money out of the community to the corporates who can sell stuff for cheaper than it should be. If you spend your money locally, it's like 3 times more likely to get respent locally, right? And
Yes.
so the reality is that we could actually bootstrap and bring up our entire community. Like we could basically resow wealth if we just kind of get this idea across to everybody that like, hey, if you just start buying stuff more locally, like
Mm.
everybody wins in the end, right? It's not just a few select people,
Yeah.
which is kind of the life that we live in. So we all need to be like to the point where we're actually sacrificially supporting our neighbor. Second most important command
Love your neighbor.
is to love your neighbor like yourself. And what
Mm.
does that look like? I think a lot of the Christian community doesn't know what that looks like. They might think they know what they look like, but in my opinion, that means sacrificially um, blessing them and supporting them, even when it financially hurts you to do so.